I've been talking to a lot of agents that are raising some concerns and asking some questions about how do I have the conversation with my clients around why HMO plans are so prevalent again in the Medicare Advantage market. And I think that's a great question because over the last few years, we've been in a very PPO, benefit rich, heavy plan environment that a lot of focus has gotten onto those plans. And clients have kind of gotten a little bit used to the PPO model over the years. Or for our newer to Medicare clients, it's kind of all they've really known. Agents are starting to ask the question of how do I have this conversation now that the market is kind of swinging back to HMO plans and HMOs are being a bigger focal point and a bigger focus of plan design going forward. And I think first and foremost, we have to acknowledge PPOs aren't disappearing. They're not just going to go away. They're not going to cease to exist going forward. Beneficiaries still value the flexibility of an HMO, and the carriers know that. But we have to step back, I think, within this and ask the bigger question is what does a sustainable Medicare Advantage program actually require? Because as you guys all know, we're in a cycle of margin compression, utilization continuing to go up, risk adjustments, star rating pressure, rule tightening within CMS are all things that we've felt over the last few sales cycles. And as that environment evolves and adjusts, it requires a lot of discipline and a lot of additional layers here that are going to be newer for some of our Medicare beneficiaries. Is going to start looking like stronger care coordination is going to be a big one as we've evolved deeper into the value-based care model, and that becomes a bigger focal point. That starts to look like things like referrals, tighter networks, all things that we're used to seeing on HMO plans. I think we know that HMOs align with a lot of the value-based care principles of that, referral management, predictable cost, accountable outcomes, coordinated care. We have to have the conversation with our beneficiaries that that's the reason for the shift. It's not because they want to take away benefits from you or offer you less or make you jump through extra hoops in order to get care. So I think it's important to acknowledge the consumer frustration within all of this, but also have an adult conversation about why it's going the way that it is and just kind of set the stage for going forward with them. In a lot of markets, HMOs can continue to be a big focal point of plan design and where the Medicare Advantage market is shifting. And we have to be able to prepare our consumers for that and have those conversations and talk about you really valued your PPO over the years, but I know in our conversations you've never traveled in the 3 years you've been on that plan outside of the area that we live. And the area that you reside in has a great network on on an HMO plan for you. And so I just think it's important to start prepping your clients now for a lot of these conversations. That can be things like social media posts, creating a YouTube video series if you want to be a little more social media savvy, putting content out now about the differences between HMO and PPO and kind of setting the stage to maybe minimize and reduce some of these conversations come the annual enrollment period.